does the policy that I have provide coverage for the vehicle that we rent? Let's say you have a business and your foreman just left the state to go travel elsewhere to go to some meetings. Foreman winds up at the rental counter. Person at the counter asks, would you like to purchase loss damage waiver for your use of the auto? Your foreman and you say no because your insurance policy covers that. But that's not always the truth. And the truth lies in the policy itself, which is the contract and the symbols and the coverage that are on that policy. And also in the state that either you are located or that vehicle is being rented. And I'm going to go over that information in today's video. Hey guys, my name is Mike, and remember, if you like my videos, please throw me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you know when I release the next one. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can leave them right here. I respond to every single one. Let's first talk about the rental contract and the agreement that you or your employee is signing when they're at that rental counter and what they are agreeing to. You're renting a vehicle, you have it in your care, custody, control, and that contract requires that you bring it back in the same condition as when you're leaving. Now that means regardless of fault, you, or in this case, the example I use, your foreman, is going to bring the auto back in the same condition as when he rented it. If it comes back damaged, they bill for the repair. In most states, they also bill for loss of use, meaning now that rental car can no longer be on the road. They can no longer rent it for a fee. While it sits in the shop being repaired, they're losing revenue from that particular auto. They will bill you for loss of use. They could bill you for diminished value. So what that means is that truck that was rented by the foreman is less valuable today than it was when he first brought it because of the damages. So the vehicle is worth less now than it was previously. They can bill you for that difference or diminished value. They stack appraisal and administrative fees on top. And your policy, whether a business auto or a personal auto policy, was never written to cover each of those line items. So keep that in your mind the next time you go out and rent a vehicle for business use. So there's really two questions that you need to ask when you're looking at your policy or asking your agent or your broker. The first question is, does the insurance policy cover the actual vehicle for physical damage? And two is, if the driver who's driving the rental vehicle causes an accident and either creates a third-party bodily injury or property damage loss to another party, will the policy respond to that liability loss? Now, the answer to those two questions, it could change based on whether it's a business auto policy that you have or a personal auto policy. So let's start with the liability coverage on the business auto policy. And this is the part that us as insurance agents and brokers really worry most about, because liability can create a lot of loss. It can get very expensive, especially if there's third-party bodily injury involved. And on your business auto policy, it will pay for a third-party injury or damage created by the driver if you have coverage symbol 1 on your policy for liability or coverage symbol 8. Symbol 1 is any auto liability, which means liability extends to any auto used in the course of business. Symbol 8 is hired auto liability insurance, meaning liability extends to an auto that you hire, in this case rent, to be used in the course of your business. Now the part where people get confused, liability will not pay for the rented auto that gets damaged in that accident. A vehicle in your care or the care of one of your employees is excluded from the liability portion of the business auto policy on purpose. The rented auto, the rented truck, gets fixed under the physical damage portion of the policy, otherwise known as comprehensive or collision. But here's the gap. The comprehensive and collision coverage, in most cases, cover vehicles that are scheduled on your policy that are listed. And in order for the physical damage portion of the policy to extend to the rented auto or the vehicle that was damaged that you rented, symbol 8, hired auto physical damage, needs to be shown on the physical damage section of your policy. So you would have to have symbol 8, hired auto liability, to cover the third-party injury or damage, and also symbol 8 on the physical damage portion of your policy to extend to the rental for physical damage. Now, lots of policies have symbol 8 on the liability portion, but not on the physical damage portion. And that could either be by design, because insurance carriers are not as willing to extend that coverage. And by the way, some of that coverage is capped. For example, one popular carrier here in California caps it at $50,000. But it also could be that your agent didn't put it on the policy, or you didn't want to pay for it as the consumer. So there's different reasons why, but it's usually extended on liability because it's fairly inexpensive. And it's something that we want to make sure extends to our clients because they have employees or they're renting or leasing autos, but it very seldom extends to the physical damage. And in today's market, that's mostly because business auto carriers are not willing to provide it. Now, even if you have hired auto physical damage, symbol 8 on the physical damage portion of your policy, there are still 3 gaps that are not going to be covered that I spoke about previously about when that rental company bills you for the damages. And that includes, first, loss of use, second, diminished value, and third, the fees I talked about, the appraisal fees and the admin fees, because that's not physical damage. That falls outside the scope of physical damage to the vehicle. Now, what happens when that employee, that foreman, rents the vehicle in their personal name? Your business auto policy may not even respond because that employee no longer is not in the business's name. And that could actually trigger a personal auto policy if there were to be an issue, whether damage to the vehicle or to a third party while the employee is driving the rented auto. On third party liability, a personal auto policy generally will follow the driver or the owner of that policy to protect them against liability created from that rented vehicle. Now, on that same personal auto policy, they would have to have comprehensive and collision coverage for coverage to apply to damage to the vehicle itself. If that employee on their personal auto policy only carries liability, then there's no comprehensive and collision coverage. And another wall that you could hit, a personal auto policy is intended to cover cars, light trucks, or vans, let's say. But what if that employee rents a larger truck or anything with a commercial build? And if you're in construction, you can hit a wall there too, because the personal auto policy will not extend or cover that type of vehicle. So you can see where the lines get blurred there. And that's why it's really important to understand how your business auto policy is written and if the coverage will extend to the use of a rental. So now let's get into state specifics, because I said it earlier, and the state could matter. So let's talk first about our wonderful home state of California and how that would play out in this situation. Now, California protects the renter more than anywhere else, which in this case would be a good thing, right? The rental company has to waive all damages. So they can't charge you for like loss of use, for example. They have to waive the cost to repair the vehicle, loss of use, diminished value, and the admin fees. Regardless of whether or how that vehicle is damaged, a rental company in California cannot pass on any costs if a waiver is purchased. If it's not purchased, California is still hard on them. So for example, if they pass a bill on to you for a rental that's damaged, they have to give you the discounts that they would get from their rental shop. So they can only pass on the bill as they incur costs. The exact repair costs that they pay, even if discounted, would go on to you. California also requires that they cap the admin fees, so they can't charge you exorbitant admin fees. Now let's talk about some of our other states that we write business in pretty often. Texas and Arizona sit on the opposite end. Neither one has a statute reining this in, so the rental contract governs, and the contract lets them collect repair costs, loss of use, diminished value, and fees, even when your driver is not at fault. Oregon and Nevada land in the middle. They regulate how the waiver is priced and disclosed, but once you owe for damage, the contract still drives loss of use and diminished value. So what are the takeaways from this video? Number one, should your people or should you buy the waiver or any supplemental coverage that's offered? We don't want to tell anyone to spend more money, but if it's something that you're not doing very often, if you're not renting autos often or taking business trips often, could be a good idea. Also check with your credit card company. You know, a lot of times now credit card companies cover waive damages to the rental auto. I don't know how that plays out in the other items I talked about, like loss of use, but that could be something to check on. Number two, on the business auto policy, does yours have hired auto physical damage? In California, more than likely it won't, but you can check. It should always have symbol 8 for liability. Ask your broker, ask your agent. If you're insured of ours, please feel free to call in and ask any questions you need so that you understand. Next, confirm that employee rentals are handled on a commercial policy or if they flowed through to the employee's personal policy. Now, if you've never heard this before and your agent or representatives never walked you through it, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to take a look at the policy for you. You can call us at 888-789-6175 or email hello@foagency.com. As I said before, all of your comments will be responded to, so you can ask your questions and comments right here in my video. Please remember, support our channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you're aware of the next one we release. Thanks again for watching. We hope this one helps, and we'll see you on another one soon.